Hey everyone, this is episode 12 of Noodle Time. Welcome. Here with me is the gentleman with a working mic this time. It's Tony Rubio. Tony, say hello.
Hello, everybody. I hope that's not jinx this podcast at all, but going back to the trusty old AirPods instead of the faulty microphone that Andres sent me, just to let y'all know.
Yeah, it was a Wish microphone. I'm joking, it was, but yeah.
Nah. We appreciate Andres giving me a microphone in the first place, but gotta go back to basics now.
Yeah, I was pretty salty, honestly, since the microphone was working well during the interview with Eric McHugh last week, but out of nowhere, it starts acting up, and it obviously screwed up the interview a little bit, but it was still worth it. The experience itself.
It was on its last legs, unfortunately.
Yeah. So RIP microphone, 2020, 2021.
Yeah. Now this is where we lead into. This is where we lead into you guys joining our Ko-fi and funding a new microphone.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue for it. So yeah, some housekeeping. Ko-fi.com/Dynamic Foxtrot. That's the page where you can support our content. Just look at all the newsletters, all the podcast episodes, and if you want to support us, that's up to you. But we'll definitely appreciate it. Any amount, $1 $100, it's up to you.
For Salada gift cards only. But also, yeah. I just wanted to say this week, if you guys have any recommendations for any other content that y'all want to see, that would always be welcome for us. I know there's there's few of us that listen to this podcast every week, but I don't know his full name, but Chepito from Twitter, I know Webb, Wilson, all you guys that listen every week, we appreciate it. And if you guys would like to see any video content, maybe just 1 or 2 minute little videos on Twitter, let us know what y'all want to see, and we can maybe work towards that in the future too.
Oh yeah. As always, you can definitely tag me on Twitter, me or Tony, and let us know your feedback or any extra ideas you may have. And yeah, and as always, yeah, we'll definitely thank you guys for tuning into all the episodes and all the content. Really, it means a lot to us, and all the feedback that we have received over time. Honestly, it's been a ride, and we're just looking forward to whatever's next.
Absolutely, but there's a lot to talk about this week, so we'll already head into it. I'll let Andres tell y'all. Most of y'all don't even need to be told. Obviously, a big announcement coming tomorrow.
It's the announcement of the announcement. That's what we got today, essentially. So, if you haven't kept up with Dynamo news lately, or today really, this morning, the Dynamo sent out I'd like to say a media invite for an upcoming press conference, which is going to involve the club ownership, MLS and NWSL commissioners at BBA Stadium on Tuesday, June 22nd, tomorrow, essentially. And they didn't say what a press conference was going to be about, but essentially what you can easily tell from the invitation to the media is that it's going to be clearly the announcement of the new ownership group led by Ted Segal. And yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that one. It's going to be an in-person press conference first, and then it's going to be a press conference on Zoom for people that couldn't make it. And it could be a pretty beautiful day for us. The guys that I've been looking forward to drastic changes to the front office for the past few years, and it could be honestly a pretty good point moving forward, or it could be pretty bad. We still don't know the intentions of Ted Segal and his group for the Dynamo. I'm hoping for the very best, and not I would say a Webb Tilton optimistic guy that we just have there's some actual true investment coming in compared to what Gerald Berner has been doing for the past 7 years, and yeah, we just have to wait and see, honestly. But I'm looking forward to the announcement. I'm hoping.
Well, by the time people listen to this podcast tomorrow, the announcement and everything's already gonna be done. So have that in mind. We're filming this Monday, June 21st. So y'all will probably be listening to this by the 22nd and 23rd. But yeah, just to add on to what Andres said. I don't know what you said exactly. An exciting day for me. I'm kind of more apprehensive because we basically know nothing about Ted Segal. It seems like he's fronting a group of investors, so I'm curious to know if he's really going to be the face of this investment group, of if it's his family money, if it's his investment money. Like, we don't know anything about Ted Segal right now. There's barely been anything that's been able to find out. So, yes, I'm excited to see what all of that's about in tomorrow. And like Andres said, I don't think anybody's celebrating just yet. Everybody's too apprehensive. Everybody's been hurt too much by our ex-owners. Oscar de la Hoya, AEG. But everybody's just looking forward to learning more at this point, and whether Ted Segal is going to be the answer, whether he's going to take us forward, that's yet to be seen. So that's why I'm apprehensive.
Yeah, and ever since the news broke out, like I'd say like a month or so ago, I like to say that most of the feedback, or like most of the reception I've seen of the news, I'd say cautiously optimistic, and I don't blame the fan base for that either, honestly, since we've been burned for a very long time, and it's really up to us to just detect what's going on with the club and actually to let them know that there's need to be an investment. Otherwise, we're going to be going over the next 7 years, like the last few, it's going to be more of the same, really, or it could be worse, or it could be better. Like I said before, we still have to wait to see what happens from here, and I will appreciate if tomorrow they will have a clear and transparent plan to share for us fans as to what's going to happen, since I like to say transparency at this point for the new ownership will be the best way to regain the fans' confidence and the trust, since like I said before, and I'm gonna say it again, we've been burned before, and the trust has been lost between the fan base and the front office, and we just have to wait and see. I don't think that I'm gonna keep repeating myself if I keep talking, since all the points have been made about the new ownership, but yeah, it's pretty much that. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and I mean, I like your point about us, the fans, having to put pressure onto the organization, because it sounds so simple, but the simplest step, like you said, to really win fans back is transparency. We want to know what your goal is. Is it the same as ours, and how you're going to get there? Sounds pretty simple in concept, but if they can put something out, I will be pleasantly surprised. Tomorrow, I think it's just going to be the formalities. I really don't think we're going to get any substance from that. But if we do, then hey, I'm happy for it. But I want to see things done on and off the pitch for real changes and real conversation to be had about that.
Yeah, and if we get a pretty good roadmap or a plan as to what's going to happen with the club moving forward, we'll definitely expand on it on next week's episode. But yeah, in the meantime, we just have to wait and see. And with that, let's go ahead and talk about other Dynamo
announcements.
Yeah, I want to not necessarily announcements, for rumors, and yeah, we from there we're going to go ahead and move on to the reviews of last week's games, and with the most recent one being an update on the Christian Ramirez move to Aberdeen, being that Tom Bogert, the man, the GOAT, the guy that slapped Fabrizio Romano in the face with his beautiful face. Essentially,
beautiful beard, mustache.
Mustache, I'd say, but yeah, I think he shaved it up, but still, he has a beautiful mustache either way.
Who had it first though, Lester or Tom today? Because Lester had the bomb about Ramirez, dropped the Lester bomb, and then I think Tom reported afterwards. That doesn't matter anyways, but still respect to Lester, the Dynamo GOAT as well.
Game recognizes game, so yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Christian Ramirez, essentially, as we've known before, the move is almost 95% done, but the update from Tom Bogert today was essentially that he should have his work permit done by as early as this week, which essentially means that we could get the announcement from the Dynamo extremely soon. So that we still don't have a clear amount timeline as to what Dynamo are getting back, since I would like to say that the amount will be pretty substantial, considering that we're gonna.
You think so?
Oh well, yeah. it's more of like a prediction, really, but we have to wait and see what happens. So.
What's your prediction?
It's probably like I like to lowball it. Probably not 6 digits, close to 6 digits, but or 7 actually. I mean, sorry, I meant to say 7.
It's gonna be 6 digits for sure.
Yeah, I meant to say 7 actually. Yeah. Yeah, if it was 6, then it would be pretty sad, but yeah.
This is Matt Jordan and MLS we're talking about. It's gonna be undisclosed fee for sure, but honestly, I think they sell him for like $400,000, and honestly, it's more of a blessing that they're just taking his salary away from us. So
yeah, like that's the best thing, like the best outcome I like to think of. Like they're gonna definitely offload a Christian Ramirez who was taking like a huge paycheck here, and yeah, like he wasn't playing that much, so like it wasn't that necessary.
And that's not disrespect to Ramirez, like we've said before. Like when I say it's a blessing, it's just because it's not working out for him, it's not working out for us. We like him as fans, but hopefully. How awesome would that be if he goes to Aberdeen, leads them to the Europa Conference League where they're going to be playing, just smashes in like 30 goals in Scotland. That's
sure. Yeah, nothing personal against Christian. Like obviously it's part of the business, and yeah, I just hope like he becomes like the next Daryl Dike over there, like
Bro, he's gonna become Daryl Dike's dad over there, dude.
Exactly.
He's about to go off.
Yeah.
But any other details with the Ramirez thing there?
From the report like that Tom Bogert published today, like I didn't see anything that jumped out to me other than the work payment being done as early as this week. So like he just went through all the stats as well, and like most of it like stuff we already knew about, like the move, and yeah, and like what he could be doing in Aberdeen over the next couple of years, like how long he stays, but yeah.
Well, for those of you that don't know Aberdeen, I believe they finished 3rd place this year in the Scottish Premier League, which is not bad considering they got Rangers that won the league and Celtic behind, so pretty good position to be in, where they qualified to the Europa Conference League, which is a new UEFA competition. First is the Champions League, second Europa League, third the Conference League. So honestly, no offense to Mickey Mouse Cup, even though my European team Arsenal couldn't even qualify for that. Thank God though. But so that's going to be pretty interesting for Ramirez to join that team. They just recently signed Atlanta United player. I believe his name is Jack Gurr. So because if you guys didn't know, Aberdeen's coach is Stephen Glass, who was their interim manager last year. So Ramirez could go and play a pivotal role over there. And if you guys are wondering about the work permit situation, in the past, you have to play a significant amount of international minutes to qualify for a work permit in the UK. But apparently it's a little bit different with Scotland. From what I read before, this is not confirmed, but just to let y'all know, that Scotland, that Aberdeen in specific, could make a plea to whatever the board was for this work permits, that Christian Ramirez was going to be providing a significant... I don't know how to explain it, like a significant effort, or he was significantly going to change the team, like pretty much saying this guy's going to be a big deal, please let him in. And I guess from what I understand, that's what happened, and that's how he's going to be receiving his work permit, since obviously he's only had 2 caps for the U.S. men's national team. So just a quick little tidbit on Ramirez there, but I think like Andres said, that pretty much wraps up all that for there. All we have to wait now is for an official announcement, and when that happens, we hope the best for Ramirez. Now on to this, though, who we going to be bringing in? The July window is coming soon.
Well, I mean, if you connect the dots, obviously, if you hear me listening to Katy Perry's Teenage Dream, you get a clue of the next signing. Obviously, it's not a forward. I'm obviously joking. Like, we still don't have a clue as to what's going to happen with Teenage Adebe, but as if they're going to sign a forward, I'm not so sure, since it will be like a pretty good time for like Bahamish to move up, like potentially playing as a 9, or like they could be moving in for a 9 and Bahamish play as a winger eventually, like if they decided to move on from Quintero. But I always have to wait. Like I'm still like, after watching the past few games, and just noticing how it's been pretty poor for the Dynamo to like essentially penetrate defenses.
Chance creation.
Frustrating offenses outside of like pretty good passing and like pretty good plays from players like Fafa. Like it's pretty hard for the Dynamo to like create awesome goals, like technical goals, and like I wouldn't be shocked if they go for like an attacking midfielder, or it could be like a pretty good like a technical forward, like a technical 9, but we just have to wait honestly, and yeah.
Yeah, we have nothing on that lead yet, but I was actually going to bring that up later. Kind of what we had talked about before earlier in the week that, well, first of all, Matt Jordan in a previous interview with Glenn Davis that we mentioned before, he admitted that we're following Teenage Debe. So yeah, that's still pending. We have no information on that. We can talk about a little rumor mill later, but Matt Jordan also said that they were interested in another forward, or he didn't say in another forward, that they were interested in another attacking piece. So that could be very much somebody to replace Ramirez. I have no idea what kind of profile, if that would be domestic or international. But on your point about Bahamic, I would love to see him get a bigger role. But from what I've seen from Tab, it seems like he's definitely going to keep him on the wing. And that for now, he's still, I wouldn't say in the doghouse, but he's definitely in the learning curve from what Tab has said and what he's shown. Not even making the bench this past weekend against LAFC. So I'd bet my money that we're going to bring in another forward, but like I said, we have no information, and we'll wait and see if Quintero is going to leave too. That could be a huge hole to bring in somebody, and hopefully an attacking midfielder or a box-to-box DP would be my dream, but we all know that's probably not going to happen.
Oh yeah, like a DP will be like a pretty safe assumption since we're almost going to have 3 open designated player spots if we ever manage to like move on from Quintero, but. Yeah, you know, in this organization, and obviously not knowing what's going to happen with Ted Segal, and obviously Matt Jordan's still here, it's still, everything's still up in the air. I might be a designated player, you don't know. Like, you could be the next, like they have 2 designated player spots, so it could be us really, the next 2 DPs.
I'm not going to bet on that. Yeah. I think there's maybe a little bit more qualified people out there, but pretty much the thing, on a serious note, the thing that I've been noticing from this team, like you said, is the chance creation. Honestly, I know nothing about the analytics, so I don't have any of the analytics in front of me. Obviously, they talk a lot about expected goals, and I'm pretty sure that the Dynamo are pretty behind on that stat from what I've read from this season, and I believe they're overperforming their expected goals. So, like we've seen in layman's terms, Rudy's pretty much scoring a random chance every game that either wins or keeps us in the game. So. That's good for us, good for Rudy, but from the midfield specifically is where I feel like we're not really getting any attacking punch lately, except like every other game or every 3 games of Memo, he turns into, prime Ronaldinho or something. But that's definitely the position where I would like to see a DP impact player come in, somebody that can get back on defense, but that can definitely pack a punch in creating chances. That's me off my soapbox.
Oh yeah, and for now, so we can stop talking in circles about potential rumors. Let's go ahead and talk about the Dynamo game. They played this week at LAFC. Not the best place to play, obviously, especially for us since we're pretty bad on the road for a very long time. And
look, man, I don't like your bad vibes that you're bringing anymore. We're getting rid of this week.
It gets better.
We're getting rid of the bad vibes forever, and that's what's going to lead us to win games on the road.
I was about to transition to the good part, which was the 2-2 draw, and like even though I wasn't expecting like a pretty good performance by the Dynamo, obviously being on the road against a tough team, they still impressed me. Especially on the second half, since the first one was incredibly horrible, and like in the second half they just managed to like respond to like a pretty bad goal to concede, like off the corner kick, and just with the formation coming in, like it's been pretty good news so far since Tyler Pasher like returned to the starting 11, and Junqua taking over Alondi's spot as a left back, and it was a pretty, like at first it was pretty worrisome since he had to like cover, that's the position he had to like cover Carlos Vela up front, like on the right wing, and like like he didn't do a bad job either. Like I was pretty impressed with like how Junko performed, like how he kept, like he didn't keep Villa in his back pocket, but like I like to say like halfway in his pocket. So like he did a pretty good in the coverage, and also the other good news being that Figueroa started over Boniek, and that brought a lot of relief.
Just what I had tweeted earlier in the week that Minor were put in absolute shifts in the Nations League, and he needed to slot it into Parker. And I read this on Reddit. I mean, pretty much agreed. I'm sure a lot of you all are thinking about it. It seems like we've made leaps and bounds in our defense this year, and obviously there's still places to be improved. And hopefully bringing in another center back, a starting center back to start next to Tim Parker can help. And also, in case of any injuries to him, God forbid, knock on wood. But it's nice to see Junkwa definitely get a start and kind of solidify and let us breathe a little bit that, if Adam gets hurt, if Adam needs a rest, he has somebody back there. But also that our defense hasn't been like the biggest problem this year. Like, yeah, it could be better, like I said, but we're really struggling is up front and the chance creation. And that's almost a blessing with at the point of the season we have 12 points. We've managed to play coherently, and we don't need to play Barcelona pep ball to win games. I care more about the results, but going into a upcoming transfer window, if we are going to open the pockets a little bit, at least it's like very clear where we need to improve, don't you think?
Oh yeah, and just comparing like both the first half and the second half, like just watching the game, watching the replay, this first half specifically, like outside of the first 10 minutes, which has been like pretty back and forth, the entire first half was all LAFC, and I was like, here we go again, another meme time, like what's gonna happen?
Kansas City.
Either we're gonna score first, and then they're gonna score 3 past us, or they're gonna score on us. We can't score any, but like I was also surprised on the first half because they managed to like defend all the goals out, and it was like 0-0 heading to halftime, and like the recurring issue for this one was kind of like the giveaways are still happening, which is the Achilles heel of his team so far, and like one that a ton of teams are still exploiting, and that's still one of the issues pertaining to the defense. And in this game, like focusing on midfield too, I feel like Memo Rodriguez was sitting back a lot, and that's not kind of like his natural role, I like to say.
Yeah.
So he tends to like be more forward, like helping out the forward line, but like it felt kind of awkward. Like in my opinion, I feel kind of awkward about like his performance in this game.
Yeah, and if anything, I mean, he had to sit back because it's LAFC, and we kind of got to protect the goal. But talking about Vela earlier, he doesn't seem like the same player since he's been in such big injury spells, and I know he's coming back into fitness and only featured 60 minutes today, thankfully for the Dynamo this past weekend. I mean, but we can say Junko had him in his back pocket. I don't know if we want to go about that far, but
no, halfway. Yeah. I said halfway in his back pocket.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good.
If anything, Diego Rossi, I mean, he was the one that really was causing us problems, and I wouldn't say his finishing was too bad, but Marco in the defense really had the angles closed off, and credit to Marco again, because we got to bring it up. Other than his mishap in Colorado, he's been rock solid this year.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anybody's really noticing that around the league. Which I'm one of those people that I don't care if we get noticed around the league as long as he's putting in the shifts and we notice it. But he's definitely been rock solid, and it was just so annoying to give up that corner kick goal because I'm sure Tab was absolutely furious about it. I don't know what Tim Parker was doing. He just let it go by his head, and then Cifuentes back post absolutely open. If you're going to lose to LAFC, I don't know. You would think it's one of those little tiki-taka goals they put together, not a back post tap in.
Yeah, they were caught off guard as far as I could tell from the replay. And yet, Cifuentes was just like wide open, really. And yeah, like at that time, I was just kind of like, here we go. And
yeah,
from there, I was ready to be disappointed, but thankfully that didn't happen because they proved me wrong. The Dynamo did, and Pico, Fafa comes in again and just performs that wonderful play to get the ball to Rudy in the I like to say in the edge of the box and just score that one to the far post, which was a pretty nice finish. But overall that play was everything. So it was just like Fafa by himself running on the flank and just like providing the ball like all the way to the side, like to the box, and like that's just another one of those plays like Fafa just comes in and just tears the essentially tears defenses apart, and like he like that skip he did. I don't know the name. I can't remember. Like I think it was Farfan or
it was against Farfan.
Farfan, like he skipped over him, and like he was like essentially almost on a 2v1 situation, and yeah, like he skips over both of them, and then he like provides the ball for Rudy to score, and like that was his fifth goal of the season there.
That goal was really similar to in a way similar to the goal against Kansas City. That kind of started with Fafa. He pressured Luis Martins in that one, and fed it inside. The similarities that he kind of comes in from the inside, cuts inside, gives it to a Rudy who's really like early at the edge of the box. But in comparison to the KC goal, Rudy didn't lay it off this time, and he was able to put it in himself. Like I think nutmegged Eddie Segura and into the bottom post. So definitely we've been lucky, and honestly credit to Rudy caught off guard that nobody thought he would be producing like this. Honestly, early in the season, and cheers to him. Hopefully he keeps pulling it off. But if anything, we just want to see again more chance creation, so he can be putting 2 or 3 of those in instead of just one in the games.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I like when he scores more. I like it when he scores more goals. That's a good thing I like about him.
A lot of people like to complain about how much money he's making, but look, this team isn't spending a lot of money on a lot of players right now. And Rudy's talking the talk, he's walking the walk. So credit to him for that. We'll pay him all the money he wants in the world if he's scoring up there in the top 5 scorers of the league throughout the whole season. But the other thing I just wanted to touch on last about the game is that I feel like if there's a player of the year, if the players had to vote who is just killing himself for the team every week, I think Fafa would be the winner there. This dude has 9 lives, 4 lungs. He does not give up, does not stop running, and like we've seen, he creates goals out of that. So cheers to Fafa so far. Absolutely loving what he's giving to the Dynamo, what he's giving to the fans.
Yeah, like he has, like you say, he has all the lungs in the world. Like he has like 4 pairs of knees on his legs. Like he can run a marathon twice probably. Like for 90 minutes, and like I just loving how he's been performing so far in the season. I just hope that he keeps it up. Like from almost all the goals that Dynamo have scored, like he's been involved in almost all of them, and like he's just like that piece Tab needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But pretty much we covered all the points in the Dynamo game from this weekend. Solid point on the road, and looking to improve on that. We'll touch on the games coming up, but let's touch on the Dash. And I mean, we'd hope it was a better result, but man, things are looking up and down, kind of rough for the Dash right now.
Yeah, like I was heading, like I was in like some pretty good vibes, like heading into the Dash game. Like Venezuela were also playing on this like right after the Dash, and like I was hoping for like good vibes for the Venezuela game, and like the Dash come in, like they get all the opportunities, they keep shooting the ball to the moon, and like they lose the game to that goal for like they after that goal they can see like they absolutely like can't score any, and like it's been that issue that we've been talking about like since the season started, that they're not finishing the opportunities, they're not taking advantage of the moments, and like it's just one of those games that they had to win to get back on track. I guess like an expansion team like Louisville like looking pretty solid to start the season, but like at the same time like you have to take those are the points that you can't drop really. Oh yeah, like Samuel's goal was insane. I don't know what to describe that goal, but like it's just that overall, like I feel like the Dash has been like a pretty like overall disappointment so far to start the season.
I completely agree, and I mean Salmon's goal was definitely nice. Watched it a couple of times over again, but it's kind of almost these mental mistakes from the Dash defense that has cost us all season. Jane Campbell was honestly putting in a really good shift, and what can she do there when Salmon has so much time and space to? I mean, it was a good move to be fair, but to just make a cutback and she has a wide a wide through channel to go in and just slot it past Jane Campbell. So that's definitely disappointing. And then, I mean, the finishing in that game, man. Well, the Dash had so many chances, and it's so frustrating to see that Latsko had that chance at the end. I believe that, man, definitely should have put it home.
No, yeah, like we just have to like go on a road trip to them to like shoot some balls like at HSP, you know, like I don't know what's going on. Like there's a ball they sell at Amazon. I don't know if you've seen it before, but like if you shoot the ball like almost 100% of the time it's gonna be like a curler, like to the goal. Like we need to get those balls to them, you know. Like it's something else. I'm kind of salty about it. Like since Venezuela were about to play, like I was hoping that should get points on the road, and yeah, thankfully Venezuela like they put like a pretty good result for the Copa America, but I'm still salty about Dash.
Definitely. I mean, no Rachel Daly for the foreseeable future, as she's already gone into the pre-Olympic camp with Great Britain, and I don't know the exact date we'll get her back, but it won't be for quite a few months already. So that's a little worrying, especially. I mean, Maria Sanchez honestly had a good showing this game against Louisville. She was unlucky not to get a goal herself. She had a pretty nice shot that got blocked during the game, and then she did put one home in the game off of a header, but that was called back offside. Honestly, I couldn't see the angle that well, but they didn't show us like a line angle. You know, I don't know if they didn't have it available, but that was a little questionable whether that was offside or not. I'd like to see that again, and I mean, hey, if it was in, then that could have really been a game changer and a point or three to even bring back for the Dash.
And WSL VAR doesn't exist, so SMH.
I cried, but James Clarkson's definitely in for a tough one going forward. If we're going to be winning games on the road, they don't want to be taking after the Dynamo, but against Louisville away is one that they definitely are going to be regretting not taking 3 points from.
Yeah, and we're still, like I would say, we're still missing some player calls for the Olympics, but like assuming all the regular starters head out for the Olympics, it's going to be bad for the Dash if they can figure it out.
Not to put any bad vibes, like I said earlier on this, but can you see the Dash missing out on playoffs this year?
Oh man, I hope not. It's still too early, so I'm not gonna jinx it just yet. So
too early, but it's almost like these games where we should have built up points before we got to the harder stretches without the Olympic players. We didn't get it done, and now when they're actually going to be gone, things could get ugly. But hey, we won't go into that. We don't want to bring bad mojo to that, but I really hope the opposite happens.
Like there's a pattern going on, like for Dynamo and Dash games being played on the same week. It's like the pattern I noticed is that both of them can't be successful. So one of them has to lose for the other one to win, or like put out a pretty good performance.
I do not like that at all.
Like that's really killing vibes over there. Like I know like it's something that it's really frowned upon on the vibe culture, but like it's just something I noticed really, and it's something that's sad. But I just know that Dynamo and Dash are gonna figure it out. They're gonna get like their senses together. They're gonna connect mentally, and they're gonna be successful, equally successful.
For sure, the vibe meters are off. Let's all turn on our candles, Jesus candles, and pray for points for both this week, especially for the Dynamo with a double game week coming up, which we can move into now to preview double game week for the Dynamo and the Dash being back at home.
So yeah, the most interesting thing about this week, it's been the home and road game. The home game being against the Portland Timbers and the road game being against RSL. And those two teams are right next to each other in the current standings with the same amount of points. And obviously that's going to decide a lot. That's 6 points on the table right there for either team, which can definitely affect the season going forward. And those are some real expensive points the Dynamo are going to be playing for, especially on Wednesday.
This is like a power play game week. I don't know if in hockey when you get an advantage, this week is gonna count for double in my opinion, because like you said, we're equal on points with Portland and Salt Lake in the Western Conference right now. The only difference being that we've played 9 games and they respectively have each played 8 or 7 games each. So regardless of that, that's why we need to be keeping up our pace and Yeah, I'm gonna put it into existence. It's gonna be a 6-point game week, baby. We're gonna beat a strong Portland team at home, and we're gonna take 3 points from RSL and break that away losing record. So
yeah, like shout out to Webb Tilton. Like just being this optimistic. Like I'm in the Webb Tilton level right now, so
not even Webb is this optimistic. Not even Webb.
No, Webb is like I don't know what you're talking about. Like Webb already knows it's gonna be 6 points.
Well, let's all believe that into existence because Portland just came off of beating Kansas City 2-1. We know Kansas City has kind of been a big rival in Krypton Edouard, so pretty impressive that they were able to take that away from them. Portland currently does have some injuries that they've been dealing with in their team, so that's also something to keep in mind because I know they lost Andy Polo and Jeff Atanella, so it's definitely like I wouldn't say ragtag group of guys, but they could be better off in that department. So we'll have to be holding off Abobasi, Diego Valeri, the usual guys, the Chara brothers, and hopefully Arudi can back some goals because now I'm getting excited. Now I'm hoping he stays up with Chicharito and Rui Diaz in the goal scoring records. But at the end of the day, I don't care as long as we're getting points.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to point out about the Portland game is that Sebastian Blanco came back for them like last game. I believe he was subbed in like for the Kansas City game, and yeah, that's bad news for Dynamo if it's a healthy player because that's another key player they're gonna have to look forward to for their game, and that's good. That's a pretty good, pretty technical player that's got vision, and yeah, it's like Portland, it's no slouch either. Like even though it's a home game, which all home games for Dynamo are pretty much winnable. With our pretty good heat and just overall swagger of the Webb Tilton optimism, it's still there's still a threat on the road, so they have to watch out for them.
I definitely agree, especially Sebastian Blanco has always kind of been like a kryptonite also for the Dynamo, always being able to score what it seems like long range goals. So hopefully, I don't care if it's a shutout, but I just hope it's 3 points and really push the Dynamo to at least take something from Salt Lake on the weekend. But I mean, what's other than Valeri, because I feel like he's a given. What's the player that you want to look out for against Portland?
Yeah, Blanco was the player to look forward to that game, and obviously.
But you don't think he's getting 90 minutes against the Dynamo? I don't think he starts yet.
Oh
right?
Yeah, I don't think so. But I just think that he's pretty influential, and it can be a threat. And obviously the other player I like to point out is Diego Chara. There's a stat out there. I think the Timbers are bad when Chara doesn't play, and that's just pretty much speaks to his character. His presence on the field, his a game changing presence there, and it's something that's another player to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some guys that have had some luck against the Dynamo. Bobasi, Blanco, Valeri, Chara, and I mean we saw that last game when we played away at Portland. We gave away some pretty bad goals. Hopefully that doesn't happen again with Aspria starting for the last game. What it seems like, but from the Dynamo side, you think we're going to expect rotation or not that much? We're probably going to see Adam Lundqvist back in the starting lineup. No,
that's a safe bet. At that point, I feel this a game they have to win, so I can definitely see them not rotating for this one. I can definitely see them rotate for the game at RSL, but for this one, this is a one they cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, I think if we see rotation, I think Corona can probably come back in if he's fit again. I assume he'll be full fit if Ramos, if you guys didn't know, said that he didn't start Corona because he had some lingering some injury problems from the break. So he still ended up getting a couple minutes at the end of the game, and I think we'll probably see him come in for Memo or for Jones. And then up top, I think we'll probably still see Pasher, Rudy, Fafa, and who knows? I hope we don't see Boniek at center back again, but we'll see what happens. We'll support him if he does.
Yeah, that's always a good choice. But yeah, so yeah, that game's on Wednesday, and Saturday it's gonna be another tough week. Obviously, being on the road, it's gonna be against RSL. RSL's a really interesting team. They have the firepower to dictate the game up front, but I like to say that I feel like they're kind of like on the same level as us. I would say that we us being next to each other on the standings could be like a pretty good measuring point as to where each team is right now. But I feel like RSL is pretty similar to us in certain ways, and it's gonna be one of those games that obviously us going to Colorado wasn't like a good deal, but I feel like it could be kind of like that atmosphere and like and that performance heading into this one. It could be bad, but like since we're gonna rotate, there's the likelihood, but we just have to wait and see what happens on that one. And obviously Rubin being the threat that he is lately, that's the guy I'm most afraid of.
The guy that shares a name with me. His first name is Rubio. My last name is Rubio. We got kind of blood brothers there in some way or another, but he's been pretty hot. Rumors about maybe him getting called back up for the U.S. national team in the Gold Cup. Hopefully he does, because I'd love to see him scoring again for the national team. But hopefully he holds up against Houston. And then also Albert Rusnak, the usual suspect in midfield, and Damir Krylak, who also has 5 goals this season for RSL, kind of leading the scoring charts with Rudy and the other guys up there. So definitely a lot of scoring threats to be aware of for RSL. But I mean, I know they've shored up their defense in the past year, but I feel like Justin Glad and I think other center back Marcelo is always some. I think that's a defensive pair that we could take advantage of, and hopefully we bring some attacks right down the center and challenge them early on.
And yeah, like they're coming off a 3-1 win over Vancouver. Obviously, Vancouver not being a pretty good point of comparison for performances, and obviously Vancouver being at a disadvantage because they're playing at RSL for their home games. But yeah, like they felt right at home, but at the same time they were playing a pretty offensive Real Salt Lake, and yeah, I just like looking at all the stats and everything. Like I said, it could be like pretty much the same. Most if not the same as the Colorado game, but yeah, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be lighting my candles. I'm gonna be crossing my fingers and hope there's at least 6 points or nothing else coming out of this.
Yeah, and on the same weekend, we also got the Dash playing against. It shouldn't be. It's kind of like one of those games that the Dash need to wake up, because it's gone to that point of the season that they just can't keep dropping points, and it's just worrisome because they're gonna play, like, even though like they're gonna play Orlando, being like right now it's like the rebranded Space Race because of like the space memes like early in the season and all that, but like it's an Orlando team that like just looking at how the team is right now, it looks like Orlando has taken the role of the Dash got last year, being a pretty exciting team that is not afraid to lose, like it's not afraid to take chances, and
yeah, for sure.
And yeah, like it's gonna be. I'm hoping it's a good game for Dash, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those games that's gonna be entertaining for neutrals, but at the same time, it's a game that obviously I like for the Dash to win all their games, but they obviously cannot afford to lose, like at home.
I mean, I feel like every game at this point is a must-win for them before things start snowballing into a losing streak or worse, before we can't even get above the playoff line. The season's long, but I mean, there's reason for worry early on. But like we said, they definitely got some well-known names in that team, with obviously Marta always being a threat, Alex Morgan, Sidney LaRue, Alec Krieger, just household names in America at this point that everybody knows.
And yeah, like the one thing to look forward to, like heading into this game, is that Orlando does play 2 road games this week, so it could present as an advantage for the Dash if they manage to rotate players or like try new things to like try get a solid result on the road. But just like I said, it's gonna be that time that the Dash have to go all out. Like, I mean, like
Maria Sanchez, like I said, has been looking good in the past game. So I really hope she gets her goal at home before this really short loan with Tigres ends. Who knows, if maybe we can solidify her permanent transfer afterwards. But I'd really love to see a goal and 3 points, obviously, this weekend against Orlando Pride.
Yeah, I just feel like every time I just watch Sanchez play, like I'm just sad because she's only gonna play for a month, and I'm like,
I don't know. I think there's something behind that. Hopefully, a permanent transfer gets done. I don't think a 1 month loan happens without those other rumors in the background of a permanent transfer. But that's pretty much all our previews for the coming weekend. A lot of soccer to be played, and hopefully our next episode, good information about the ownership, good information about dubs on the road and at home. The last thing to touch on, and Teenage Devin transfers. The last thing to touch on, of course, is our weekly Dynamo loan army. And no Marcelo Palomino this weekend as Charlotte Independence did not play. But what do you have to say about our man Eric McHugh?
Well, it so happens that after the interview that we did with him last week, he gets subbed in at the 13th minute, and Charleston were losing, 1-0. And as soon as he comes in, Charleston come back and win the game 2-1. How about that?
That's the Eric McHugh effect, ladies and gentlemen. 77 minutes played and a 2-1 win. That's our Noodle Time interview alum right there, making an impact. And now we're happy he's getting more minutes. He didn't get to start, but because of injury, he comes right in and proves his worth, hopefully showing he should be starting in the games to come.
Yeah, like if you haven't listened to the interview, which was the previous episode to this one, you're missing out. Like you're probably not aware as to the reason why Eric McHugh won that game, and you'll definitely find that answer if you listen to the interview, because he's a ball in the making, like I said before, and yeah, like it just sucks that some people didn't listen to the interview, which is kind of disappointing, really.
Regardless of the audio issues, it's amazing. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check out our last episode interviewing Eric McHugh. But other than that, that's it for Noodle Time this week, guys. Wishing you all the best, and like I said, let us know about any content creation ideas or any opinions, criticisms. We might block you. I'm just kidding, but thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Just make sure you guys keep playing Teenage Dream by Katy Perry in the background whenever you're busy, or like whenever you're doing some work and you just need to listen to music. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and stay noodle.
Stay noodle, guys. See ya.